Facebook, what's going on? Hey, we're gonna kick it off. We finna get ready to kick it off, man. And we finna get live on this one.
Did you think he deserved to be slapped?
It's not so much about being slapped as much as it is about accountability, right? He has made Black women specifically the butt of his jokes for years, and he's finally being held accountable. So I feel like this kind of sets the precedent, going forward, hopefully that people would be more careful about how they treat and discuss, Black women.
People are going to focus on your words saying, is Candace McDuffie condoning violence, saying that, that Will Smith should have slapped Chris Rock?
I think, in the literal sense, it seems like a bit much. But honestly, sitting here, calling Jada out of her name, making fun of her hair condition, talking about her alopecia, words can be violent as well. And as we see, Black girls and women, we suffer abuse at higher rates in this country. So continuing to humiliate us only perpetuates this.
A lot of people laugh, though, when they hear the jokes and they say he's a comedian, he's just being funny. Maybe you're being too sensitive about it. What do you say?
I think it speaks to a larger American pattern of using marginalized people as comedic fodder. And then it can also, lead to violence being incited. It can lead to us being not seen as human.
What's up, Facebook, man? What's up? What's up? We had to start that clip up, man. We talking about the Chris Rock comedy show that aired on Netflix, and we had to get Candace Duffy's take on the incident. And man, we just want to welcome everybody for our weekly podcast, Speak On It. And Candace Duffy gave her take on Chris Rock and the jokes that he made with Will Smith. A year ago, Will Smith came to the, on the Oscars and slapped Chris Rock in front of everybody. And all of us know this. The world knows this. And a year later, Chris Rock has a special on Netflix where he talked he built up and had his routine, and he built up to the end to talk about the Will Smith fiasco. We're going to talk about it, very soon. So we're going to talk about that tonight. And, we're going to get down to the business because we speak on it, man. We speak on things, man, that really affect us. And what's going on with us, just in entertainment, in the world, what's going on with us just dealing as people. And, the subject tonight is going to be, why are so many single women saying most of them men aren't qualified to lead? We're going to talk about that tonight on What's Up, Black? We're going to talk about tonight. Talk about that tonight, and get into it, man. So we looked at the Chris Rock special. My take on it, Chris Rock is art. It's comedians push the envelope. That's what comedians do. Comedians use comedy to deliver social commentary. And a year ago, we seen that this man was slapped by Will Smith. I like them both. Was slapped by Will Smith. And when he was slapped by Will Smith, man, it took him a year to really respond. And when he did that, he laid it out at the end of it. So we're going to just deal with that, man. But, I got mixed feelings about it. I just want to see it play out. He talked about August Alsina. He went into that. He said, you knew you were bigger than me. He mentioned that you don't know or if you haven't seen Will in person, he's way bigger than me. So to pick on me and not pick on August Alsina, a man that slept with your wife and your wife sat you down in front of the world and humiliated you and told you to your face that she had an entanglement with her son's friend. You know, he felt hurt. That hurt worse. He said, even now, he said, they asked him, you know, did the slap hurt? He said, hell, it hurt now. You know, he said, my ears still ringing from summertime. So, you know, that hurt him and embarrassed him, but he did it in a way to kind of speak about it in his comedy. And the woman here, Candace Duffy, she said that he has a history. Chris Rock has a history of antagonizing black women. And he felt that Chris Rock should get slapped. She felt that Chris Rock should get slapped. The way the world is now, man, it's crazy the way the world is. So, you know, we'll just have to, you know, keep our ear to the street on that, on what develops from there. Reports say that Will Smith did see it, and he said that he was hurt by it. He was ashamed, embarrassed was the words, embarrassed and hurt by what, you know, Chris Rock said. You know, and he hoped that Chris can, you know, let it go, because he tried to apologize. He knew he was wrong, and he admitted it. He took accountability. He's been banned from the Oscars for 10 years. The man took accountability, you know, for it. So it remains to be seen on what's gonna happen. So that's what we dealing with. What up with it, Black? You wanna
You said you had mixed feelings. What mixed feelings you have about that?
Because I like both of them.
I like both of them, but at the end of the day, right is right, wrong is wrong.
It ain't about a right is right, wrong is wrong. It's about seeing both sides of it. The man was slapped. I get that. And he came back with what he came back with because he felt violated. And he wanted to do it in a way that how he positioned himself to that he can get back and do what he said and said what he said to Will. You know, I think that was masterful. It wasn't about who's right or who's wrong. It's you know, just playing get back. You hit me, I hit you back. So comedically, he slapped Will, you know, back. Okay. But to me, it died. The news died down, and I really forgot about it. It didn't have no more strength to it. But he finally addressed, you know, the slap that happened to him. So that's how I looked at it.
Okay, you say it had died down to you. You had forgot about it.
No, was it in the news circulation a lot?
It wasn't.
I'm asking you.
It really. We talked about it. It's kind of like social media and the news outlets promote what they want to promote. Right. Just because they don't talk about it doesn't mean it's not there. Just like COVID. When they was talking about COVID 24/7, everybody was on alert. COVID still exists, but they downplaying it in the social media, so that doesn't mean it doesn't exist because the news not talking about it. Right. The fact that that man decided to speak and say his piece at that special, just because the media is not talking about it and is not in circulation, doesn't mean that man still don't feel humiliated, still don't feel hurt, still don't feel like he needs to stand up as a man. And being spat on and being slapped are the two most disrespectful things you can do to a man or even less a human being. So that is not something that a real man just gonna lay down and just not say or do nothing about. So the fact that he chose not to fight him because his parents taught him not to fight in front of white people, as he say, Just because he chose not to do it that way, that don't mean that that man gonna lay down. Just like if somebody go and murder a family member, if you're gonna retaliate, you don't go back the same day, the same night, or the next day and get them. You let it die down, and then you do that element of surprise. That's the best way to win any war. So, of course, that man was humiliated. He hurt. He got children, and if he don't speak out or do something, that's just a total disrespect on all levels. But people don't see that. All they see is he called Jada a bitch, which the whole world was calling her a bitch after the slap incident anyway. She was wicked. She was evil. They called her all that. But you didn't see that black motherfucker on there, the bald head one you played, hollering about alopecia and all that shit when everybody else was calling her that. You know what I'm saying? Then she hid her alopecia for a minute. She would speak on it a little, but the social media wasn't pushing and the news wasn't pushing her alopecia issue. So he didn't know. So we just gonna say he didn't know. And he just said the G.I. Jane, cause the bitch bald head, G.I. Jane bald head. So that's all he did. You know what I'm saying? So when you are at a comedy show, like the wife and I went and we saw Eddie Griffin. She was like, well, we had pretty decent seats. She didn't want to be up by the stage because he's known to look around the crowd and cap on you. That's what they do. So if you offended by comedy, then damn it, don't go to a comedy show. If you're offended by comedy and you have to be at a show and a comedian is the host, sit in the back some damn well where they don't see you. You have less chances of being seen. Every time every time it's an intermission or he have to come up there and say a joke before he announced the next presenters, go to the restroom. You know, if you're going to get offended. I can't get offended by a comedian if I'm at a comedy show. I'm just not going to go. Are we going to sit way in the back? Or when they look at us and start trying to cap, we're going to try to tell them, hey, you know, no, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? But then that's on them whether they do it or not. So me personally, I feel like now it's, he's a feminist. He's been attacking black women. What other black women he attacked? He did the movie where he talked about the hair. I forgot what it was called. Hairspray. What was it called? Hairspray? Uh-huh. Okay, I guess what? That's attacking black women? Then we do have Natty, as is what it's supposed to be, but we call it nappy. But we do have Natty hair. Our majority of the black women do have thick and coarse hair. So he just did a movie about it. What other woman had he attacked? It seems like him and Jada been going at it back and forth behind the scenes or whatever. So if it's just one woman he attacked, if it's one woman he attacked, how does that make him a feminist? And she encouraged Will to get up and do what he did. And that's how he felt. So if she want to be a bitch, if she want to be a slut, a scalawag, or however he seen fit to describe her at that moment, you are what you are for that moment. If I get into it with somebody
you're not gonna let nobody call a comedian. You don't get no pass calling somebody talking about your what's up, man? JJ, what's up?
What's that?
Congratulations on it, man.
Yeah, congratulations, man.
Young man.
You make me want to walk down the aisle again.
Young man.
Well, that's not until the 23rd, but
okay.
Oh, it's the 23rd. Okay.
Oh, we thought it was
03, but it's 03 23 23.
Right.
Gotcha.
Oh, okay.
So no congratulations yet. Scratch that.
All right. We'll wait. We'll wait on that.
Yeah, we're gonna wait.
We'll edit that out.
But let me catch him up. He's saying that he had mixed feelings about the Chris Rock special and what he said about Will and Jada. And he's now explaining to me why that he felt like it was wrong for him, Chris to call Jada a bitch.
No.
Go ahead.
I'm talking about having mixed feelings is not necessarily a like or dislike. It's looking at something and just getting the full. We understand the history between, because Chris Rock have made jokes about Jada in the past, in previous Oscars. So that's documented. So they always had this tip for tap going on with them in the past. But to get on stage, you say what you say, you're a comedian. I get it. But if I know I got a history with you of tip for tatting with you, I'm not gonna play with you like that. I'm just not gonna do that. Even if I'm a comedian, I just know if me and Jay not cool, I'm not gonna play with Jay like that.
Okay, let me ask you this.
I don't think he's playing.
You don't think he's playing?
Let me ask you this. Did Jay slap the shit out of you?
No,
Okay, it's different when somebody put their hands on you. That's
Right.
different. That's different when somebody try to take your manhood in front of the whole world. You got your manhood, your manhood snatched out your body.
I understand that. That's why I said I understood when I'm saying I got mixed feelings, because I understand both sides. The man got to recover from that. The man got slapped. No man wants to get slapped by another man in front of nobody. So I get that. What he said and went towards his wife, just like I'm calling your wife a bitch, or I'm in comedy calling her a real bitch.
Let me tell you something, and that's why I say all the time on here, and Austin make fun of me, but I'm different. If my wife fucking with you, poking with you, and I done told her to leave you the fuck alone, and she keep fucking with you, and you call her a bitch, a slut, I'm gonna say I told you to leave him alone. That's just me. Because if they disobey, it has to be some type of repercussion. It has to that has to be there, because she didn't do what I asked her to do. And as leader of the household, if I say leave Jay alone and she go mess with you anyway, it's consequences and repercussions. So I'm gonna sit back because I told her not to. Long as you don't put your hands on her to a degree where you hurt her. But if you just like I told you earlier, I was taught sticks and stones may break your bones, but words would never hurt me. So you can call me a black motherfucker, you an arrogant son of a bitch. I don't give a shit. But you touch me, we got a different situation going on. So
I think that's different when it's you, but when if someone's directing it to your lady or your children or something of that nature, that's a different animal. I can take it. I can take whatever you want to call me, whatever you want to say.
Right. It's just words.
But as long as you don't put your hands on me.
Exactly.
But
and so if you tell your wife to leave Richie alone, and she keep poking at Richie, and he curse her ass out, you told her.
I don't. That's just not the natural. That's you gonna say something, bro. You gonna say something. You gonna say something if somebody say something to your wife. You just gonna do that. I don't.
If they say it, look, it's a different scenario. If they say it out of the blue, but if I told her leave him alone, and she keep poking and shit, a damn dog get tired.
But
the dog get tired.
But you don't deal. But you don't deal with those type of. I don't know no. I don't know no woman that you would have to do that to. That you would have to tell a grown ass woman to stop fooling with a grown ass man. That's
what he should have told her when she kept messing with the grown man. Chris Rock is a grown man.
Okay. What did she say in history? What did Jada say in history about Chris Rock? Because he always poked at Jada. Always.
She always poked at him.
But he poking at her.
She started it first, he said.
How did she start it first?
No. That's what he said. He said she started it and I finished it. And we don't know.
Okay.
He said,
but I'm sure it's documented somewhere.
Go ahead, Jay.
He said she started it when her husband didn't get nominated for concussion.
Mm-hmm.
She started messing with him at that point, saying that he should lose his job and whatever that was. So,
Okay, who kicked it off? That did Chris?
According
kick
to
it off?
him, she kicked it off.
How she gonna kick it? Okay, so she kicked it off by defending Will. Is that right?
No, actually,
for concussion. Is that right?
Actually, let's just say you used to be a rapper. OZ didn't get nominated. So his girl get mad and tell you that you don't need to be even on the panel of judges because OZ didn't get nominated. And then you tell her to screw herself. So sometimes, like you teach me, it's Ballard. Sometimes he should have stayed out of that. What of me to tell you that you don't need to be working on your job because you didn't give Austin a plane ticket?
And I do need a plane
ticket.
And he do need a plane ticket.
Yeah.
So you don't give him one, and I say you miserable piece of shit. You don't need to be working at the damn airline. You need to be fired because you wouldn't get him a ticket, but you gave OZ one. What you gonna tell me? I'm telling you how to do your job. I'm telling you, you don't need to be working on your job.
But we partners. We always go back and forth like we partners. This is matrimony. These are people that's married. They gotta live with each other.
The bottom line is what was said still was said, whether they partners or enemies. She told that man he need to be fired. He don't need to be working at the Oscars because her husband didn't get nominated for a concussion.
So Chris Rock don't need to be working at the Oscars.
Yeah, that was she said.
Okay, so how offensive? What offense is in that she said? Because that's her husband. He don't need to be working at the Oscars for not picking my husband. How is that offensive?
What and like me and the wife go all the time. What hurts you may not bother me. What bothers me may not hurt you. But she put that man's job. She said that man shouldn't be working at the Oscars in front of the whole world. And with this being the cancel generation, this is a cancel generation. And so people would take any little bit of information and try to spread that, make it go viral. Chris shouldn't be working at the Oscars. Then it gets to the powers that be that might say, hey, maybe we do need to find another host.
But what I'm saying is that
defamation of character.
But that's not defaming. That's just her opinion. She didn't.
But she went viral with it. She put it out there. It's notated. Celebrities have to move different. You can come on right now and say Usher is gay. The wrong person say that. Let's just say P. Diddy say Usher is gay. The whole world finna get take that because of who said it. You say he gay, it ain't gonna matter. I say he gay, it ain't gonna matter. But somebody like P. Diddy, Ice Cube, Snoop Dogg say it's who says it. It's not what says. It's who says it.
It's attacking his character.
A defamation of character.
But she wasn't defaming. But she wasn't defaming. She wasn't defaming Chris Rock.
She should have left a grown man alone. She should have left that black man alone. Women need to stay in their damn place and left that black man alone.
She said, because he don't need to be working there because you didn't choose my husband for concussion. Ain't nothing wrong with that. That's her husband. She can say that. Listen. James' wife.
The difference is she didn't. She could have told him that in the DM. She should have told him that off stage, behind stage. She put that in the forefront. She made it known where the publicist, paparazzi, the publicist could see that.
She called him out specifically. There are other people that had votes, but she isolated him. Right. She isolated him as the person and questioned his integrity.
And that wasn't talking about nobody. She just was questioning his integrity because it's a panel of people that vote. Now, what if behind the scenes he voted for him? We don't know that. What if the other people voted not to put him on, or he didn't get the Oscar for concussion?
But that's kind of like
we don't know that.
That's
she
kind of
just
like
saying,
what
based
what
on outside looking in, this is my husband. He should have been nominated. He don't need to be working there because he need to be nominated. My husband need to be nominated for concussion. That's not talking about nobody. That's just dealing with integrity. That's
the
not
fact.
saying that he's gay. That's not calling
No,
him a bitch.
no, no,
A
no.
hoe.
The fact
He bitch-ified.
that
She
the
not
fact
doing
that
that.
she singled him out of everybody on the panel. Let's just say it's 5 people judging. I don't get nominated. I don't get picked to be in a play, and I come straight to you.
Yeah.
It's 5 more people. Shit, why you ain't saying nothing to them?
Okay.
You singling me out and you made it go viral. You put that in the air. That I don't need to be hosting the Oscar. So you got somebody popular that's a figure that people follow behind. Women want to pattern behind. People want to be like.
Wow.
And she said, I don't need to be hosting the Oscars. So somebody who may be friends with her that's on the Oscar board may say, hey, maybe we need to find us another host because Jada said blah, 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 blah.
That didn't affect nothing. He did the Oscars a couple years in a row.
But it could have. It's the principle.
But it didn't.
But when you're at a certain level, it's not what you do, it's how you do it. You and I talk about that all the time. It's the principle. Okay, let's just say I break in your house and I steal some money from you. Listen.
All right.
I steal some money from you. It don't bother you because you shook back. You had more money that was in the bank and it wasn't under your bed. But I stole the money that was in that money box under your bed. You shook back. But what? It's the principle that I stole that money. It didn't affect you, but I stole money from you when I could have just asked you for it. It's the principle. It's not what I did. It's why and how I did what I did. The principle. So when you grown, you operate on principles. That's why you taught me valor. It's certain things I need to speak up on, certain things I need to fight on, certain things I need to just sit back and just let it ride. How important is that? And like Tommaso say, think first.
Yeah.
So I sit back and I listen to everything my surrounding people tell me and I apply it. And so when I see a situation like what went down with that, number one, my woman, my wife need to stay in her place. If it's an issue going on with her and somebody, if it's an issue going on with her and Austin, if it's an issue going on with her and you, I'm going to tell her, let me handle that.
Okay.
If she might want to say, let me tell this nigga he ain't this. Let me tell that nigga that nigga a whole bitch. Let me tell him. I'm saying, no, I got this. Right. You stay over there. I got this. And if she feel like I'm not doing it right and she decides she want to poke the bear and the bear turn around and bite her, I told you I had that. You did that, he bit you. Now I'm going to talk to him about biting you, but I told you to leave the man alone. Now I'm going to go to you and say, hey, man, I didn't appreciate you growling at my wife. You shouldn't have growled at her. Then you're going to say, well, she should have left me alone. Because at the end of the day, everybody is human. She don't know how you going to react. You don't know how she going to react. So I can't tell you the best friend, she the wife. I told her to leave you alone. She went behind my back because I told her I got him. Let me handle him. But she big woman, she gonna go and poke you anyway. So whatever happened to her, she get her ass handed to her. You did what you did. I'm gonna come and talk to you about the situation, tell you this and that and that. But hell, once I warn a person not to do something and they go do it anyway, you let me know, fuck me. Fuck what I said. You did what you wanted to do. So you gotta sometimes you gotta sit back and reap what comes with that shit.
Right.
Real nigga shit. I told you to sit down. Now you see why I told you to sit down? Because I knew, he looked sorry as shit. He looked like he ain't gonna do nothing. But you see that nigga put something on your ass. That's why I told you, let me handle it. You went out there, you jumped up there, now he cursed your ass out, your feelings hurt. But like I say, you touch her, that's something different. Because if you touch her, that means you don't respect me nor her. You curse her ass out and say the only reason I ain't put my hands on you is because out of respect and the love I have for my brother DJ Black.
Right.
Had you been anybody else and I ain't had no connection with whoever you dealing with, I would have slapped the shit out of you. But since you DJ Black's wife, fuck you and everything you stand on. He told me fuck me and everything I stand on. Yeah, I told you to leave his ass alone. That's just me. I don't. If I start the fire and I get in trouble for it, I'm gonna pay whatever fine I have to pay. Yeah. That's just me.
Now, I'm never gonna fight family, but if my girl and whoever in an argument, I'm gonna tell both of them, hey, y'all need to shut that down.
Right.
Get it down.
Mm-hmm.
But if she go behind your back after you at work, she go behind your back and she go to his job while you at work. After she get out of work, she go straight to his job. Fuck you, nigga. Blah, 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 blah. And he cursed her ass out.
First of all, I ain't gonna have no woman that act like that.
But Black, you can't really. You don't know if that unfolded the way it did. You don't know that. We'll never know how it unfolded the way it did. Now, if it's facts that she said they need to replace him because they should have nominated my husband.
They got facts.
They always that. We'll say,
that's documented.
Okay, so all the other stuff you just sat there and explained. Do you think she deserved what she got because of what she said? She just was stating her opinion. My husband should have won.
She stated her opinion. Let me tell you why. Okay. Even he knew that.
Wait a second.
Go ahead.
Now, if it was somebody, if it was another person in the thing, it said that if it was Bobby Willis, man, they need to let go Bobby Willis because they didn't hire my husband. They didn't award my husband, nominate my husband for the Academy Award. Would it been justified if he would have talked about her because she stated her opinion? That's all she did, was stated her opinion. She did not disobey the man.
Okay.
We call him Jada Will bitches and hoes.
Okay.
We know that said off the camera. I haven't heard them talk about Will and Jada on camera.
I have.
But who said it?
I'm saying as far as Twitter and everything blowing up, they talk bad about Jada when that shit was
but that's opinion. That's people's opinion
okay.
of you.
Now you said
that don't necessarily
okay.
That it's fact.
The key thing that you're saying is what she said he shouldn't have got offended by, right?
What she said was stating an opinion. She didn't cuss him out. She didn't call him a bitch or a hoe. He didn't expose her business. Now he did by right. He did.
I'm playing pool with it.
Yeah, because I went to Marble Rec. So he exposed information that was made public. Now her putting Will at the red table talking about this entanglement, that was crazy as hell. A lot of stuff she did was crazy as hell. But
right.
He's monopolizing Chris Rock. Okay, I slapped you. I get, that's why I'm saying I get both sides. How Will feel, how Chris Rock feel. I get both sides.
Now, going back to what you said earlier, when she said he shouldn't have been nominated, he shouldn't be doing the Grammys the Oscars because Will didn't get nominated.
Yeah.
Didn't that happen with that? What happened was when he said the G.I. Jane joke, Will slapped his knee, like Austin said when we talked about that. He was laughing his ass, doing a fake laugh. I said it was a fake laugh, but he was laughing his ass off and he slapped his knee. He looked at her and she frowned up. And then Will got his ass up, walked up there, slapped and keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth. Okay, so if I'm laughing at a joke that you said about my wife, I'm laughing, and then she looked at me like that shit wasn't funny and you need to do something about it. Then I get my ass up there, walk up there and pick you up and slam you. The only reason I slammed you is because of her, because you looked at me laughing at it. You looked at me laughing at it.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? The only reason I was, the
But
only reason I
still,
came to
but-
you and
but-
said something is because my wife got
but
offended.
but Will and Jada know that Jada got alopecia. She felt offended. The G.I. Jane joke was offensive because she knows she got a condition. And it came out after this instance.
The key thing is after. And Stasia, if you listen to what he's saying and listen to what I'm saying, I waited until he finished, then I responded.
No, bro.
I ain't talking to you, baby. I'm talking to
Stasia. No, I understand that, but
I'm telling her that I listened to you all the way through what you said, and then I responded. She said Black is listening to respond instead of actually listening. I sat there and listened to everything you said, and then I came back and said about the Oscar thing, about her saying he shouldn't host the Oscar. Didn't nothing get done behind that. He just stated that was one of their picks. Didn't nothing happen behind that. He mainly went off because Will laughed. Will looked at her,
all right,
and then he walked on stage and slapped it.
If Chris Rock's wife was at the time, Chris Rock's wife was suffering from cancer. She came there, she's skinny, this, that, and the third. Chris Rock laughing, but he turned and looked at his wife and realized that hurt her. Though that's a joke, she looked like Skeletor. They know that she got cancer. So he gonna feel like, damn, man, hold up, bro. It went up there and slapped him. That's how.
But that ain't what happened. That ain't what happened.
But it's in the same vein, in the same.
He laughed. He laughed.
Situation. That's what I'm saying.
Because that's what I was arguing, and then Austin shut me down by saying Will laughed.
Will was laughing because he thought she was laughing. She thought it was funny too. But he seen that she saw it wasn't funny because she's struggling with alopecia.
Okay,
she already struggling with a condition.
Right, but at that time, he didn't know.
He didn't know that.
Okay, so if you don't know, okay, let's just say sister-in-law, you used to seeing her hair.
But Black, he said he made a mistake. That wasn't his best judgment. He know that. That's what I'm saying.
Listen.
We'll know that.
Listen, if sister-in-law cut her hair, and you say, damn, sister-in-law, shit, you trying to get the mohawk, you trying to be Mr. T. I know that her hair is coming out on the side from medication. I ain't told you that. So you just making a joke when you see her. Hey, shit, you looking like what you is, Mr. She. You making a joke because she got the fade and she got the mohawk thing going. She rocking the mohawk. You ain't never seen her hair that short. So you don't know. So if I don't know she's struggling from cancer, if I don't know she got alopecia, if I don't know meds took her damn hair out, I'm just making a joke.
We honor and
as far as being harmless, that joke was actually harmless. He just said the next G.I. Jane movie I'm going to go see.
I understand that.
Look at this part. Look at this part. So when he said that about G.I. Jane, right?
Mm-hmm.
What was G.I. Jane? She was a strong individual that worked through that lit Marine program.
Yeah. She posed as a man.
No, she didn't pose as she didn't pose as a man.
This was Demi Moore, right?
Right. She didn't pose as a man. She went into a program that was designed for men, and she made it through. She cut off her hair,
right,
to show whatever her strength was, and to blend in with the group.
Right.
So it took strength for her to cut off her hair.
Right.
It took heart for her to do that, to work through that particular program.
Right.
So
that could have been taken, if it wasn't her, that could have been taken as a compliment. When it's the next G.I. Jane. And then who knows, the producers of G.I. Jane probably could have looked at that and been like, hey, Jada could be the next G.I. Jane. And now she's working again, because right now she ain't really working.
But the thing is, though, bro, is that we'll know he went too far. He admit that. He tried to apologize to the man. It wasn't in the vein of him accepting his apology. All of us been offended by somebody, and they come apologize, and we're not ready to accept their apology.
Right.
So the man admitted that he was wrong because all of us were surprised that he hit Chris Rock. Nobody was expecting Will Smith to do that. No, but I think it was some other stuff that Will was dealing with in his life that caused that to go off on him, and he just happened to be a victim of
just like he said in the thing. All the stuff that's going on, he hits me.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so
I agree with that.
But at the end of the day, and I tell people this all the time, Sorry didn't do it. Right. You did. And it's up to me whether I want to accept your weak ass apology or not. Because you shouldn't have done what the fuck you did. Sorry did not do it. People always want to fuck over somebody and then come back and say, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Sorry didn't do it. You fucked over me.
It's not the fact that when they're going to accept it or not, Will was man enough to admit that he was wrong. He said he was wrong. He didn't.
That ain't being man enough, nigga. You was wrong.
He sucked up his pride. He sucked up his pride and not apologize.
No, was it the public that made him do that? Was it the public that made him do that? Did he do it because he wanted to, or did he do it because he was catching backlash?
I believe just as a individual, the character that he has, who he is as an individual, the man apologized to him.
Man,
the backlash, Jay. But Jay, we don't even know.
We ain't gonna say no. You let me come to where you at right now on live, beat your ass down, and then tomorrow I say I'm sorry.
But what
you gonna love me? You gonna bring me roses? You gonna feed me?
But what I'm telling you, bro, the man apologized. Okay, he got the backlash. We understand that he got the backlash. He got banned for 10 years from the Oscars. We get that. I understand that. But the man apologized.
Okay.
What else can he do? He reached out to him.
He
reached out to him.
I feel you. But that's just like if you had a woman. That's just like you. Let's just say you in love with a woman, and you giving her your last, and she go and sleep with one of your brothers.
Bro, I'm not disagreeing.
She gonna sleep with one of your brothers, and then she come back to you.
I'm not
after he treat her like shit. She come back to you and say, "I'm sorry." Right. You'll accept that bitch back.
You gonna accept the apology, but you're not gonna take her back. You don't have to take her back. You can just say, "Oh, okay, then," and let it go because it's good for you to forgive and let that stuff go. Then to hold on to that. Okay, you messed over me. I'm gonna let it go. I'm not taking you back. But I'm gonna go ahead and move on.
But that's the choice of the individual, right?
That's a choice. Yeah, that's a choice of the individual.
Okay. Right. So it's no right or wrong in that situation.
That's what I've just said. That's why I said it's two sides of the coin. I can see both sides. Because the man was trying to apologize. He was trying to he was telling him, "Hey man, I'm sorry. I apologize." That's what he was trying to do. Now, if I would say for the backlash, we don't pressure. Yeah, he probably got backlash, all that stuff from the higher ups, and probably him as a person. Hey man, I apologize. He didn't want to hear it. He did his part. Now he got him on stage, did what he did.
Because
now, from this point, if he keep doing this shit, then it's petty. Because you got the platform, and Will Smith said that he felt Netflix was wrong for giving them a platform to say that, but that's their choice. Now, if you just said what you said, you got the best of me, you got me. Okay. And then you come back with it and keep coming back with it, then that's an issue on you because I done my part. Okay, you got me. My wife a hoe, a slut, this, that, and the third. Okay, she's all this, she's all that. All right, boom. You got me. Everybody clap, standing ovation on the comedy show. Okay, after that, you going to still come with the BS. Or you going to still keep coming with it? then after a while, your character gonna get damaged because you done what you did. Now you still keep coming with it. You still keep coming with it.
Well,
that's what I'm
the
saying.
thing.
It's a thing.
He hasn't said anything else after he
No.
did his little stand up.
He let it go. He's done. So we gonna see where it go from
Yeah.
there.
So, but you can't tell another man.
We're not saying that, and I'm not saying that. I'm just saying you got that. Like we say, all right, you got that. Now you keep coming, poking the bed. You keep coming, poking the bed, doing the shit, doing what you doing, and then your comedy skits. Now, the girl, the reporter, she talking about he's a misogynist. Candace Duffy talking about he's a he down in black women, this, that, and the third.
I ain't seen him down a black woman.
No, he was making his bit on, build it up to saying, how could you, out of all people, do me like that when all the stuff she did that all of us seen her put him through, embarrassed him on camera, said things, admitted in front of the world that she slept with somebody else, and he was her son's friend. Why would you do
so what was
all
false?
the people? Why would no? I'm not saying nothing was false. I'm just saying that's what it is.
So,
you know what I'm saying?
So the world was calling her a bitch. Like he said, Charlemagne, he was rocking names of other people that called her a bitch too. Well, all of a sudden, when he called her a bitch, when he the one who got slapped, that it's a problem.
Right.
This cancel generation and these feminist women look for a reason to down a black man. That's why that woman who you played earlier came out, got something to say. We go through enough stuff. Then if you go through enough stuff, sit your goddamn ass down and stop looking for more shit to go through. Just because you're a woman going through bullshit, that don't mean men got to bow down and kiss your ass and you talk to them and treat them any kind of way. That's not how that goes. And it's not gonna go like that. So if Jada would have sat her ass down and she knows she got alopecia, she knows she's losing her goddamn hair, then leave motherfuckers alone and they won't mess with you. If I know I got cancer and I'm over here weighing 110 pounds, I need to sit my ass down and stop being messy, because if somebody gonna say some shit that's gonna hurt my fucking feelings, so I'm gonna get out the fucking way.
But that's all relative in opinion, and that's just the opinion of people. Now, the facts of what she did, doing the entanglement, all that other stuff, we see that. The Tupac thing, we saw that, but all the other stuff, calling her bitch, this, that, and the third. For her to even say that, to warn that from Chris, he telling a joke. You warned that from Chris. That man just stood up and defended his wife. That's all he did.
I said that too.
Yeah,
I said that too, and I understood that. So when he stood up and defended his wife, I ain't going against that. He stood up, he defended his wife. There are consequences and repercussions. So if I go up right now and decide to slap Austin, it's gonna be consequences and repercussions, because that man, that's a grown ass man with integrity, with a reputation, with a woman, with children. He's not just gonna lay down. So I gotta be prepared when I make my mind up to go slap that man, put my hands on that man. Whatever he come with, I gotta be fucking ready.
All right, and when that happens and it's done, we're not gonna throw you away. That's the thing. We just not gonna cancel you and throw you away.
Who got thrown away?
Who got thrown away?
We talking about Will Smith.
We didn't throw Will away.
How they blocked him from the Oscars.
Well, he should have been.
To demean him.
No, that's not throwing him away.
Hey, he did that on their platform. If I'm throwing a party, and I'm a promoter, let me break that down to you.
Man,
if I'm throwing a party, and the people who watching this that know that I promote and do parties, if you fight in my party and you cause any distractions, your ass getting kicked out and you ain't coming to no more of my shit.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I still got to make money. You fuck my shit up. I got to make the people that's still going to come feel safe.
Yeah.
So now they got to pay security. You costing me money. So now I got to buy extra. I got to pay extra security because you went on stage and smacked my host. So you really costing me money. You making me look bad at my establishment. It may be people now that's of the elite, that's that 1% that say, well, I'm not going to his event because it's ghetto.
Right.
And I'm not gonna put the money, the sponsors may pull money out because you let somebody walk on stage and smack the host. What do that say about me? And that's my event.
Right.
So people can lose money in that act that he did.
Yeah.
So they did right to ban his ass from the Oscars. If I start a fight, if I pull my pants down and piss on stage at somebody's event and I get banned, I deserve that shit. Because them people got to make money. It's not mine. I'm just a damn host. I'm just a guest. I'm just somebody that's nominated that's at their event. I'm just the DJ. If I do some ignorant shit and they kick my ass off of the panel, they kick me out of the event and say I can't come back, I brought that shit on myself because I should have sat my ass in that seat as a grown ass man and addressed that man behind the stage, address that man off stage and say, hey, after the event, I need to talk to you. You don't go up in front of white people, as Chris Rock said, and do some bullshit like that. It's consequences and repercussions.
Yeah. Just like a kid getting in a fight at school and there's a zero tolerance.
Right.
It's the same thing. You have rules, you have consequences to breaking those rules.
Right. That's true. That's true. That's true.
And he broke those rules. So if he wouldn't have done that on a white stage, that they finally let black people shine that night.
Yeah.
And you're gonna go up there and make a mockery. If I wanted to, I was gonna chill. I'm like, he better be glad, baby. I'm gonna get him, but let this go because this is not his event. He just the host. I'm gonna get him though. I'm gonna catch him out the stage. He gotta leave. I know what he drives.
Right.
But I'm gonna get him, baby. You know what I'm saying? I didn't think it was gonna bother you like that, but I got him. I'm not gonna do this on national TV. It's gonna be, you know, so if somebody outside with their phones, let them catch us, and we can kind of clear it up on what we were doing. But I'm not gonna do it on no world stage.
And then it just perpetuates that story of what they think about you.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got that.
Yeah. So yeah, if it takes that man 2 years to get over that, as I was taught, we can't give a time limit for the next man to grieve. I get over things quicker than the average person. But just because I'm over it and ready to move on, you may not be ready to do that. And we have to respect that. So for the people that's saying that was a year ago, that's over a year ago, Chris needs to leave that alone. You can't tell that man when he threw grieving. You can't tell that man when he threw hurting. You don't know what that did to that man. So if he want to talk about that shit till 2025, let that man do that. We have nothing, you know, no say so over there.
Well, if Will would have slapped Tom Cruise, he wouldn't have been back to the Oscars ever again.
Or the elite would have found a way to kill him.
Well, I mean, yeah, you know, I feel that if the man apologized and that's what he did, you know, Chris got his lick back. We just need to move on. That's how I feel.
And
the man got his lick back.
They're moving on.
Yeah, and you move on.
So you're not opposed to him getting his lick back with the
No, I told you, and it's like you are not hearing me. I told you I had mixed feelings. That it's not either right or wrong. It's just I understand both sides. Is what I'm saying. I want things. I want to see how it play out. Are they gonna work? Are they gonna reconcile? Are they gonna come together? That's the point. That's what I'm trying to say. You know,
right.
It ain't about it right or wrong.
I don't think they need to reconcile. I think they need to just leave it alone. It's fuck you.
Okay.
Yeah. So he will probably still mad at August Alsina for getting his licks in.
Right. That's true. That's true. So we don't know how it's gonna play out eventually. So I just want to see how it play out.
Like they say, he know who to slap.
Yeah.
Old boy say he played Muhammad Ali. He played Pookie.
Yeah, that's true. I
You know?
understand that. Yeah.
So yeah, that was and August Alsina smaller than damn Chris Rock.
Well,
And he gay. So I don't know, but like I say, it was spared a moment. He was put on the spot.
Man,
he's a beta.
Nobody expected that though, man. Nobody,
he's a beta. He's proven to be a beta male in that relationship. She wears the pants, and he with her because I think it's cheaper to keep her. Well, because ain't no man. Will is a 1%. Ain't no 1%er just gonna constantly take no shit from no woman unless he know it's cheaper to keep her, unless he knows she can bury him.
Mm-hmm. Well, if he should have got a tight prenup.
He probably didn't. He probably didn't. But you know,
I mean, he probably still, they probably living their lives in separate bedrooms anyway. You know,
and doing their thing. That's all that is. It's just they doing their thing. But we'll see how it unfold. You know what's happening. So, you know, I just think, you know, I just see both sides of it. The man just apologized. Okay, you know, we move on.
I'm you know what though? I'm glad that apologies go a long way with you, because it's like I know I'm good. That's insurance.
It ain't about with me, bro. I'm just saying.
No, I'm saying
moving on from.
I'm talking about with us.
I'm talking about moving on. Okay, you got your lick back.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I feel you on that.
If you keep digging and digging and digging and digging and digging, then that says something about your character. Okay.
Right.
I was wrong. I told you I was wrong, but if you keep digging and digging and digging. So that's the part that I want to see with Chris Rock. Is he gonna keep digging and digging and digging? That's what I want to see. He got his lick back. But let's see what's gonna happen after that. That's what I want to see.
Right. But like I say, no, I was saying on our personal level.
Right. A person told me you can be so right that you can be wrong.
Right.
You can be right, so right that you can be wrong. You can stew your character that way. That okay, bro, you got it. You got your leg back. Now you're trying to do the overkill because that's how you feel.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I want to see. That's what I'm saying.
But like I say, I'm just saying as a personal, because of us, I'm glad that you you know, I know that you forgive a lot easier than a lot of other people.
No,
I don't. That's insurance. I know that I can get away with a little bit. You know, I like to push a button or two. So I'm just saying personal, I know that, you know, you're gonna forgive me. So that's what's up. But we can move on to the discussion of the evening.
I hear you, bro.
Yeah, you my dude. So, you know, I can push the envelope a little bit because I know you're going to forgive me. I'm sorry.
Right. Whatever.
You know?
Yeah. But what we got going?
Okay. It's the 30 hours up. It's time for the speak on it discussion. And what's the discussion tonight, Jay? Phantom?
He said, why are so many single women saying most of them, meaning men, are not qualified to lead?
Yeah, why are women saying men are not qualified to lead? As Tastasia stated on the last podcast, and also Charnel was stating on the last podcast, that men are not like the men of old, and it's hard for them to find a man that can lead. Just like when we brought up the submission, and a lot of women were saying about the submission, they don't have, the men are not qualified enough for them to submit to. You know, so we want to know what's going on with these men and why we think that the men aren't as manly or taking that man leadership role like pops did, granddad did, great granddad did. So why are the men not taking the leadership roles in the relationships?
And just to add on to what you're saying, I think a lot of women will let a man lead if he got a plan. If he's a true man, naturally the most hood female I've seen let men lead them. Sometimes it's the wrong direction. They be the Bonnie and Clyde type of people, but a woman will allow a man to lead her if she knows that he got a plan. A lot of times, a lot of us, like I didn't have my father growing up, so to know how to take care of a household, like basic things, cooking, cleaning, ironing, things that women do, I know how to do because I was raised by a woman. I wasn't raised by a man. I didn't know nothing about fixing on cars until I got older, fixing on bikes, learning integrity, learning to stand on what you say you believe. I didn't learn none of those things. I learned that later in life, how to work, how to go get a job. You didn't know that, how the understanding how a woman thinks. I was not taught that. So even because I thought that treating a female nice, doing things for her, doing what you're supposed to do by her would guarantee me respect. But it necessarily worked that way. The women that the men that they wanted was the total opposite of what I saw. And I always wonder why they choose the bad boys or choose men that mistreat them, because they gravitate towards those men. They'll tell me all the time, no, you're a good man, you do this, you do that. It's just I'm not ready. I was told one time that I'm too right. You do things too right and exact. And a lot of times she said that women find that boring. When you got a man that does the right thing and he's good to you, that those type of men are boring and they need some type of spice in their life.
Okay, let's go to the men that don't know how to lead.
Right.
You coming from a generation where you know how to lead.
Yeah.
The women that we were talking to, like Tastasia, her thing was in her age group, she's 27.
Yeah. Them young bucks.
And she ready to settle down, find a man, somebody to build with. This is the building stage. If she can get somebody to build with at 27, 30 years old, they both can be 100,000-aires or whatever, in the next 5 years. But the guys she's meeting in her age range, I'm gonna say 25 to 30, are not equipped mentally to lead. She feel like she still got to go out there and bust her ass on the job, pay majority of the bills. So why do I need if I can't find no man to lead, I might as well just be by myself. Yeah. So it's like it's something going on with why the other generations don't have that will to lead, to take control. And there's women out there that's looking for men to take control. But right now we'll focus on the 25 to 30-year-olds. The ones that have attempted college wasn't their thing, so now they got a job. They got a car, they got their apartment, they got a child, and now they're wanting to date. But the men that they're meeting are not the men in their age group don't have that vision, as you were saying, to lead. Right. They don't have the, they good for sex. They're good for pro hustling. Yeah. They're good for helping out with a bill or two every now and then. But they don't have that, hey, baby, we finna do this. You finna do this, I'm finna do this. I got this. let's get this structure, let's get this foundation together, and let us grow, let us move forward. There a lot of men are not doing that, and
Right.
even ones that's our age and older are stepping down from leadership roles, according to statistics and what people say, because the women are supporting themselves. The women are working and paying the bills themselves. So the value of a man seems to be declining. And if you a male that's 40 plus, you're not going to be running behind and you know your worth. You ain't finna be running behind a woman and kissing her ass. So that's another way that men are stepping down from that leadership role. You know,
No,
women can be very disrespectful these
yeah,
days.
but I don't think they stepping down. They just they're you got men in their 40s. When you get in your 40s, you're a little bit wiser. When you 20, 25, I know I'm not the same person that I was when I was 25. And them young brothers don't know nothing about life. They just enjoying life. They running, going from this girl to that girl. They not ready to settle down at that age.
But,
Now, women, go ahead, Jay.
I mean, you still have older men that are still doing the same thing that they did.
They were doing at 25.
Yeah,
They're
but
wearing braids and wearing
Yeah.
jerseys with other men's name on their back, and
Yeah.
out here thinking they can run every woman, popping every Viagra pill that they can.
But just within that age group, we speaking just in statistically within that age group, that's what you have going from 25 to about 30, 35. You know, men starting to mature around 40. They starting to really get their groove. And
You
they
would
said
think they do.
the average millionaire, is within their late 40s, early 50s. That's the average age of a millionaire. So during those years, they getting it together. They making mistakes. They doing their thing, but they in a sexual peak as well. So they chasing this woman, that woman. They not thinking about tying down. While women, in their mind, they looking at being they're a little bit more mature than us. So they looking at trying to latch on and have a relationship with a man, but he's not ready for that. So what's happening is that the women are ready for a family at a young age. The men aren't. And then when time passes by and that wall hits for the women that they having challenges having having children, then that man hit 40, 30, 40 years old, wanting to have children, it could be an issue.
Well,
So a lot of times,
I'm not seeing that many women right now that are ready to settle down,
right,
and with a family and all that good stuff,
right,
in their 20s and 30s.
Yeah, a lot of them are going to college. A lot of them got degrees. A lot of them got good careers, and they really,
not a lot.
They really, but they are they have, as far as statistically wise, they're a little bit more educated than we are as individuals, and they've been more educated than we are in our group. So having access to money, now we earn more than they do. I think the average Black woman earns an average of like $27,000 a year, while the average Black man earns about $40,000, $35,000 to $40,000 a year. So we earn more, but you're looking at a generation of people that ain't trying to get married because they try to chase a bag. You got social media, you got this person in your ear, you got that person in your ear. So it's a different landscape to even see people now. You can go see in inbox, you got 4,000 friends on your friends list. 1,500 of those are women if they're not fake accounts. You got your pick and choose, especially if you're a good looking man. You got your picks and choose of who you can get out of that friends list, or not just that, in the world. How do you deal in the world? So we didn't have computers. We had to deal with what we saw. If we had to go somewhere, we had to our cousin from California, all we can do is hear the stories. If we couldn't afford to go there, now you can see that on Google Maps. You can look at everything now. So everything has its access. So that's where you're looking at this. You dealing with a generation that's technologically advanced, and they just not ready to settle down.
So that's why they saying they can't find no quality men to lead, because that age group is just not ready to settle down.
Them boys are not ready to settle down. Then you got some brothers, you got some of them that's on the down low. You got some of them that like men. You know, you see, when we were coming up, we hung with each other, but we had girlfriends. You know what I'm saying? Young brothers, they like playing video games all day. They like doing stuff like that. So, you know, it's a lot to this generation that you see. You can see them, even at the job I work at, they like slouching around. They'll do as much as they do it as much as they need to do, and nothing and no more. Now, I'm not saying it's just a general stroke.
I think it's less fathers in the home, which is why the guys are not as prompt and responsible as we were. It's different. Right. Like I said, you didn't have a man in the home.
Yeah, but I had a stepfather and uncles.
You had uncles that stayed on your ass.
Yeah.
And so that was still part of the village.
Right.
Now they're by themselves. That mama working. So she's not instilling if especially if the father's not around and he's at home 24/7 playing video games, going to school, playing video games, fucking off all day without that uncle or that neighbor or that father figure or that man in the home saying, get up, let's go mow this yard.
Right.
Get up, let's go clean this backyard up. Let's clean this storage room out. Right. You don't want trash around your house. Mm-hmm. Get up. Let's go and grocery shopping. Get up. Right. Let's do this. Let's go paint. You don't have that man figure doing that. Mm-hmm. And if that woman's working, she's not there raising them. Right. So he's sitting around being lazy, playing video games and goofing off all day. Right. You know, we had to get out there and go work.
Yeah.
I know I did. When Pops was up and he had to mow the yard, hell, we pulling grass out border plant.
Yeah.
He made sure we was up doing our thing. We couldn't just sit around.
Right, rake them lead. Yeah, that's true. So you know, and that put a lot of work ethic in us. Now we're at a point in our lives where I know I love to work. You know what I'm saying? Being an older man, I love to work because it was instilled in me. But I hated it when I used to have to get up on a Saturday morning at 4:00 in the morning, and my uncle get me up and we mow the lawn. And we got to do that every 3 weeks. The grass will grow up. So I know we go in the morning, we mow on the lawn, and we're gonna stay out there till about 3 in the afternoon. So we're gonna
we did that every 2 weeks.
About 12 hours. We're gonna stay out there and go mow that lawn. But it taught me work ethic. It taught me how to mow a lawn. You know, how to fix on the lawn mower, how to do different things. Because you got a generation of men that's coming up, they don't know how to change a tire. They don't know how to change if they have a family traveling with their family, they don't know how to pull over and change it. I know my truck, they got the lugs in there. You got to have an Allen wrench to pull out the lug and the cap, and you know, do the jacket vehicle up and take the tire off. So for them not to even know how to change tires, that's a concern. So I feel for the younger women when they dealing with not having or finding a compatible mate, because they all over the place and then they dying. You know, this younger generation, you say something to you, they ready to kill you. And you see it all. You got surveillance cameras now. You see it on the news. You seeing them going through stores, killing up each other, just laying out on the street, shooting somebody in the face. So just to see this type of generation go up to this level, I only can feel for what, you know, this generation and these young women, going through. Because I'm glad I wasn't born in this generation. I'm glad I was born. I was a 70s baby, and I'm glad I was born in the era I was born. It was fun. I got good memories. It ain't nothing. If I transition tomorrow and I can just get that last little memories, I can remember growing up in Milwaukee, man, having fun with my life. I got my ass tore up when I did wrong, and a village raised me. So when my mother couldn't do it, my aunt stepped in to help her. And women nowadays got to have that type of bond with each other that they can help raise one another's children.
Yeah, I feel it's hard on the single mother, but yet they preach they don't need a man. So I think that's basically selfish, because they're not considering help, constant help that they have with that child, especially if she's trying to raise a boy.
Yeah.
And those are the ones that we see laying on the side of the road being shot in the face. Those are the ones we see locked up, going to jail, locked up in juvie. It's the men majority. Right. It's the boys.
Right.
And the fact that she's able to go out there and make the money, and I don't need a man. Well, if you don't need a man, then you need to have another means of helping you raise that boy. Because we are losing our young black men, man, faster than ever before. And it's under the care of our single mothers. And they're not, and like we said on a previous podcast, a woman cannot really raise a boy by herself to be a man, because she's never been a man. She can show him how to treat a woman, but to just be an all-out man, that's rare for a woman to teach a boy how to be a man. A male figure has to be somewhere present. Right. If it's not his uncle or something.
Yeah, I think that women say that they don't need a man. I think a lot of it does with hurt. I think a lot of our women, they've been abused a lot. They've been mistreated. They've been misled. Some men run a cold game. I've met a few women. They're good women. When you treat them right and do right, they got issues, and they know they got issues. And one friend of mine, she said, James, she said, I had some things happen to me, and I'm the way I am because of what have happened to me. So you find a lot of women that say that, but really deep down inside, they really want somebody. They just don't want to get mistreated. I think, bro, when you get, my grandmother was 99 years old when she transitioned. My grandfather transitioned in 96. She transitioned in 2019. She was by herself. And when you get up in age, you really need somebody to be there with you.
They're not thinking about that.
You don't want, you gotta, because I was telling one of my nieces, baby, you gotta have, you need to think about having your family. Because I told her, I said, don't be like your uncle, me. And I'm speaking about myself. And I was telling my nephew, I said, don't be like me. I made a mistake. The mistake I made was trying to find the perfect woman. And she never came. And here it is that I'm my age with no children and no family, because of the choice that I made and had the same mentality of trying to find the perfect person.
Yep. And so
we make a mistake, and I don't fault nobody. Ain't mad at nobody. Ain't mad at women. I don't hate women. And for the record, we don't hate no women. It's just when you think you trying to find the perfect person, and I think women, they more romanticize the men that they want. They don't really find what they want in that man. And a good man can come by and be everything that they need, but from what he don't look like in her head, she's not going to accept that man. But when you get 20, 30, you 40, and you haven't had no children, and you really out of that stage of having children, it get real when you 40 and 50 years old. See, you all got children. I wish I would have, if I could turn back the hands of time, I would want to have children, and I would have had children earlier in life. So I encourage my nephews, bro, get married. Don't be like me. Get married. Don't romanticize in your head that this woman gonna fall out of the sky. You gotta go find it. And I failed to do that. And I can say that for anybody that hear this podcast again, man, get you a family, because I like that. When I went to visit Black, man, I like to see his son. He loved Michael Jackson, and I'm saying it on the record, and just watching him, and I'm like, man, you know, I wish I would have just had that opportunity to see have a son and watch him grow up, whatever he was gonna be. But my thinking, I arrested my own development because of how I thought. And a lot of our women, they don't know the seriousness of how it can be, because nature is different to them than we are. Because we can have children up to we die, but it's a door. And if you want to have some babies, you got to think about, hey, I need to find somebody that's going to treat me right and do right by me. He may not be the whatever man that they like now, finest man
Morris
like
Chestnut.
now. Morris Chestnut, but he good to me. He come home. He pay his bills. He got good credit. Whatever he needs to take care of me, he take care of me. And women don't really understand all the money that they got. Some women got all this money. They got cars. They got jewels. They got all this stuff. And they by themselves. They come home by themselves. They may have somebody that come through and have sex with them. But at the end of the day, they really want somebody. So when a woman say that I don't need no man, they just be lying. They just hurt by what men have done to them, then abused them. They gave themselves to them, and they've mistreated. So we deal with a lot of women in our age group that's been through. You know how we talk about it. You said, Jay, when women our age, they done been through a lot. They got children, 20 young. What's her Anastasia? What's her name? Testasia. Tostasia. They got children her age, and they've been through a lot of trauma. So I've learned just to look past that and just be as genuine as possible as me as an individual. That's my take on it. And I think that's why they don't feel a man can, because they scared to let a man lead, because they feel they don't want to bring him into hell.
You know, I think you're absolutely right about that. And a lot of women have made the same mistake that you admittedly made, trying to find the perfect person.
Yeah.
When there is no perfect person. It's just the person that's perfect for you.
Yeah.
You know, and I've dealt with and had a number of women, but I've never felt anything until I found my woman.
Right.
So, and it took all these years, even all the relationships that I've been through and all the situations that I've been through. But there's nothing greater than the feeling of true in love.
Right.
So, you know, people out there, they're waiting for this person that makes six figures and that's 6'5", you know, 205 pounds, you know,
muscular,
with their perfect chisel face and all these abs and all that fades away.
Right.
You know, so when you find a person that's truly your person and that you attach to them, it's the greatest feeling in the world. You know, I'm not saying settle for anything, but allow yourself to explore different things and different options and different people, and not
Right.
just look at their money or their physical characteristics. Find out what that person
Right.
can mean to you emotionally, and
Right.
how they can support you in that area mentally, and your goals and your dreams, and you all can build together and grow together.
Right. Right.
So,
And when he say grow together, that means she's not gonna and he's not gonna be perfect. Grow together means you teach her things, she teach you things, y'all growing together. If she don't understand why you do this, educate her on why why you do what you do. If you don't understand why she do that, let her try to educate you. Just because she does something that we don't do, don't mean that she's not for us. Just because he do something she don't do, don't mean he's not for her.
Right.
It's like everybody's grown, especially now,
Right.
and you have to accept people for who they are, but on the same note, besides settling, try to introduce them to new things, introduce them to, let them, educate them on why you don't do this, why you don't do that. Let them know, if this is not what I like, I don't do this and I don't like that. And trust me, if with growth, if that person want to be with you, they have no problem adjusting. You know what I'm saying? And that's how you know that's who for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Man,
You know.
And I think that because where I work at, and I'm saying this to the audience, I met a lot of women that may not, on the surface, if you look at them, they may not be very attractive women on the surface. They don't look like who would be, we can say Halle Berry in our generation.
She never did it for me. Too skinny.
Whoever we say that's good looking. But what I found when I had a conversation with these women fun to be around. They make it, and it's something about the inside of them, their vibe. What I'm learning about people is that the internal that I'm starting to find. I'm like, man, she may not be the best looking one, but she cool as outdoors. And I be wondering when she gonna come to work and when we gonna chop it up. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of the beauty of people that I'm starting to see is what you see in the inside. Because I didn't met some nice looking pretty women with funky attitudes. Nobody don't want to deal with them. They messy. They get into stuff. They like stirring the pot, try to get people fired, but they fine as all outdoors, but they rotten as hell. So I've met a lot of good women that may not be that beauty queen, but they some good women, and they good for,
I mean, you should date.
And Allah is showing me, from the lens of the mistake that I made. Like I was telling you, that I was trying to find that perfect woman, and life was passing me by. People will grow. My nieces and nephews, they're in their 20s now. I remember when they were born. They're in their 20s now, and time. And I'm gonna say this: time will move so fast on you. You don't think that you got all the time in the world, because you don't. You think that oh man, I'm 25, 26, I'm chilling, I'm this, that, and the third. No, time go, because as you get older, you're gonna gain more responsibility. Even if you don't have, you may end up having children. If you don't, you're working at a job, you dealing in a profession, you just ain't sitting around. Time gonna speed up on you. So you don't want to be in this life by yourself. I tell anybody, man is not made to be by themselves. And I'm not just talking about man, male. I'm talking about male and female. Neither one of us, we can stop this shit saying that we don't need one another, because we do. We need each other in our lives to balance us off, because if where I'm weak at, you strong. Where you weak at, I'm strong. And it balances us off. And it took me to realize that, and to really see what you're going to do if you get sick. What you gonna do if you in this bed and you said all that crap, you don't need no man. Here it is. You in this beautiful house, but you can't buy your health. You got cancer. COVID-19 showed it got real with women when they was trapped in the house, and we ain't never had to do we never saw that in America, where we had to quarantine and you up there by yourself. And all you got is your children. And they said the abuse rate raised so high in child abuse during the pandemic, it was unprecedented because you're not used to your children being at home all day with you, every day in the house. So we see how real it is when you in a situation where you got to be by yourself. And nobody, and I'm telling you, nobody wants to be by themselves.
Well, the first thing is you shouldn't date for looks, you shouldn't date financial, and you shouldn't date sex, because all of that can change in a blink of an eye. You can lose your job, you can have a wreck, an accident, anything, your face fucked up, and sex, your sex drive can go down from the accident. It can go down from medication, whatever. So those are the three things that you should never, ever, ever date for. Mm-hmm. But word to the wise, if you want a nice looking woman that's pure, because you don't want to fall in love with the personality, which a
lot of people do.
A lot of people do, and it works. It works. Mm-hmm. But if you one who say you still want to wake up to something looking nice, you have to put yourself in that circle.
But nice is relative. Nice is relative. Nice is relative. To look good is relative.
But if that's something that you particularly say you want is a pretty decent looking woman, you have to surround yourself in that company.
Right.
And within being in that company, you're gonna see the rotten ones, you're gonna see the assholes, you're gonna see the ones who think they all that. That's every time they talk and they're doing that and they want to be on Instagram and they got 50 million pictures. Those the ones that you don't want. But in that circle also, you're gonna find ones that's what you're looking for, and she has that look. So that just doesn't necessarily mean that just because they nice looking, they all ain't worth a damn.
Right.
You just have to put yourself in that circle and go to picking. You go in that room and you pick which ones, she's not that, she's this, she's that, she's that. All of them are not going to be that. You're going to have some that want them eyelashes that touch their eyebrow. Right. That ain't what you want. Right. You're going to meet ones in that circle that you want for implants.
Right.
But that's not what you want.
Right.
So just because I ran into one or two nice looking ones that thought they was more than the world, that don't mean I'm finna go into the next room and downsize what I like, because I met 3 or 4 of them that wasn't my cup of tea. So now I'm finna go in the less attractive room. No, I'm gonna stay in the room I'm in, and I'm gonna find, because one bad apple can spoil a bunch, but they didn't say it spoil them all. So I'm gonna stay in the nice looking room, and I'm gonna still try to pick.
What I'm saying, people gotta find what's good for them, what makes them happy. Yeah, you can have good looks. No, in Islam we talk to settle down to a good choice. A good choice may be good for me,
right?
And you may not think my choice is attractive, but that choice suits me.
And like I said on the last one, beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
Right.
And don't date for looks. But I noticed that you put emphasis on, you see women that's not so attractive, but they're beautiful on the inside.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
The way the world would view that, the way the world would look at that, the conversations that they have, the things that they say about themselves is what I'm saying. It's not necessarily what I see in my frame is what they say about themselves. Is what I'm saying. Is that
Oh,
they
right.
would say this and say, yeah, I know I'm big, I'm this, that, and the third. I may not be the best looking, so I'm going based off what they're saying, not what I see of judgment. Because I'm looking at a person. It was a girl I worked with. She was a lesbian, and they was like, Mr. James, you didn't think she was? No, I just thought she just had a mohawk, and she just because you see women, straight women with mohawks. So I didn't think nothing none the lesser. You know what I'm saying? So I don't judge people just on the surface. I see because I can see and understand conversation is what I'm saying. But I'm
Right.
talking about which they say about themselves.
And women that, I mean, a woman come to you and say, I know I may not be the best looking, and I know I may not be this. How does she feel about herself as a person? Because I've seen women that to me was very unattractive, but you couldn't tell her she was unattractive because she was confident.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
I've met beautiful women who don't feel like they're attractive, which I understand. But on the same note, if she beating herself down with it, that's going to eventually turn into a problem.
Right.
And you really don't want that because
Right.
she's unhappy with herself, which means she's going to be unhappy with you.
Oh, it's gonna be a struggle, man.
If
It'll
she's
be a
too
struggle.
far gone, unhappy with herself, and you're going to find that a lot now that social media has taken over. And like we said, women not a lot of them is not gun ho over love. They're gun ho over likes. I'm gonna
Right.
post this picture and see can I get more likes than Shaniqua.
Right.
I'm gonna post this video to see can I get more likes than Shaquita.
Right.
You know, so back in the gap, the man could say, "You're beautiful. You're the most beautiful woman I ever met." And butterflies get in her stomach and hearts go over her eyes and she in love for life.
Right.
But now a man say that ain't enough. She want to show the world, yo, you're beautiful in that dress. Oh, okay, I like that dress. It shows your curves. You're beautiful in that dress. She's gonna say, okay, thank you. And then you look around 30 minutes, an hour later, the next day, she posting 4 and 5 pictures of her in that dress to see how many likes she get. So we living in a different time now, where you know love is different. Beauty is gonna be more now in the eye of the beholder, because a lot of beautiful women feel like they're not beautiful. A lot of attractive women feel like they're not attractive. And now I'm learning it's vice versa with the men. They almost just as damn bad as the women. So it's just the world is different now. So you have to date what's like Austin say, what's for you. I can't look at his woman and say I want a woman like his. Like that song Jesse's Girl back in the day. Oh boy, wanted a girl like Jesse's girl. You can't do that today because it's too many attitudes. It's too many influences out there today. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You looking for Jesse's Girl and gonna end up in some shit.
Right.
What'd you say, Austin?
No, I was just saying that you're absolutely correct, and you know there have been women out there that may not have been attractive to you in the beginning, but once you got to know them and you became friends with them, then whatever that non-attraction was, that physical non-attraction was, it started to form into something different. You start seeing them differently, and you start seeing them as being beautiful or cute or whatever you want to call it, because their inside changed whatever you were feeling, and for their physical.
Right.
So it made you see them totally different. And if people start doing that and allowing themselves to start feeling versus just seeing, then they may be able to find someone that is truly for them.
Right. Right.
And it depends, and to add to what he's saying, it depends on what type of guy you are too.
Mm.
See, you're an intelligent, intellectual person. Looks is cool, but you need somebody you can talk to, you can relate to, you can express your intellect to. So beauty is gonna be boring to you if you can't stimulate the mental. You know what I'm saying? If she just a deadbeat, you just got your pretty woman, but no conversation,
Yeah.
no nothing. Y'all just there.
Yeah.
You like, yeah, you pretty, you fine, you everything I want physically, but if you want to talk about politics, she lost. You want to talk about quantum, physics, she lost. You want somebody that you can relate to. You want to express your knowledge of what you're learning in the nation. Mm-hmm. She's gonna be lost and uninterested. So you need somebody that's open-minded, that's intelligent. Mm-hmm. A pretty dumb blonde won't do you none. Right. And so that's why I preach: never date for looks. If you just happen to find that package of somebody that stimulates your mind, and she also look good, she got a nice body, but like Austin said on previous podcasts, you're not gonna find everything in one woman.
No, you're not.
And that's why a lot of people saying men are not really designed to have one woman. If he want to be satisfied 100%, he gonna have to have two to three or 4 women. And so you're not going to find everything. You have to find the main things that matters in that woman. If you want intellect, boom. If you want looks, boom. If you want the shape, if you want the college education, if you want, whatever the main qualities you want in a woman, out of 5, if you can get 2.5 or 3 of those, you batting 100. Because you're not going to find everything you looking for in one woman. And like you said earlier, that's where you missed out on.
Yeah, that's what
because you felt like she had to be this perfect person.
Right.
And then once I learned that, because all of us went through that. Mm-hmm. Austin and I probably went through that in college. And I'm going to say Austin ain't too long got out of that. Because his rules for dating was hell. And I used to be looking at him like, damn, my nigga, you ain't gonna find that. Well, man, she gotta have this, she gotta drive this car, she gotta have this education, she gotta be on the job this many years. And I was like, dude, if the chances of you finding that gonna be, that's a needle in a haystack type of deal, and you're gonna have a magnifying glass. Right. So after he was searching and searching, he eventually started saying, hey, man, in order for me to find who I want, I'm going to have to do some adjusting. Mm-hmm. And I did the adjusting probably 5 years before he did, because I was like, what we're searching for and what we think we're going to get, you're not going to find that in that one person. So you have to find majority of what you like and go for it. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're not gonna find that in one person. And once we understand that, I think, like he said, dating would be much easier and it'll last longer if you can find someone who meets majority of what you're looking for, because you're not gonna find that 100%. And he said that on an early podcast when he first started joining. You're not gonna find that perfect package, no matter what. And then the women that goes off to try to make that perfect package with the what y'all call it, BBLs, whatever the hell y'all call it, and getting the butt implants and getting the breast done and the lips filled and all that, just to meet what's missing, to satisfy what they feel like is missing. That's fake. It's not them. And then right now it's problems with it because a lot of them doing it that's not qualified to do the plastic surgery. So it's very risky. And I wouldn't want a woman to go off and do that just to please me. So you have to take pretty much, like I say, majority of what you want in a woman. You're not gonna find that 100%.
That's it. That's it. Yeah, that's real. Hey, AJ, I'm gonna reset the room. Hey, we want to just thank everybody for coming out. And the topic we got on is why are so many women saying most of them men aren't qualified to lead. And we talking about it. We speaking on it, man. We got about 13 minutes before we land this plane. Jay, go ahead and make that point you was gonna make.
Well, it's just really reiterating what Black just stated, and it's just like with anything. Even if you build a house, you're not going to get everything that you want.
Right.
So, and trying to build a person is difficult.
Yeah.
So again, you find those intricate things that you feel are important to you, and once you find that in a person, then you continue to get to know them and build on those things, and you might find that the things that you were looking for are even deeper within that person.
Right.
And sometimes you will find out some of the things that you were hung up on, you may not be hung up on those things as much because of the way that person treats you and makes you feel. And so again, you have to be attracted to a person.
Right.
You have to be attracted to that person.
Yeah, you got to.
That's first and foremost.
Yeah, you got to be attracted to that person.
But while you're out here trying to find that perfect person that you're attracted to with all of these features and all this and all that, then you're cutting yourself short on that. They might be good looking and might have a lit stomach or something. You know what I'm saying? There's some things that you have to figure out the things that you're willing to accept. And if that person supports you emotionally and supports your dreams and your cares and your likes and your loves and truly loves you, then that little bit of stomach, he can push back from the table. He put that take down.
Right.
What I'm saying? You all can work out together. There are things that you can do to help some of those things. And again, allow yourself to get to know someone other than just their physical, other than just sex, because after you spend your 30 minutes, hour, 15 minutes, whoever, 5 minutes, whatever it is, in the bed, you have to be able to look at this person, talk to this person, stand their morning breath, stand, whatever those other things are that naturally happen. You have to be able to live with that person, because the time in the bedroom is very minimal.
Right.
But the time you spend just hanging out, getting to know each other even more, trying to build on your relationship, that time is very important, and you do that more than you're having sex. So you got to stop getting hung up on this sex thing.
Right. That's real.
And Black was right. I did have some things that I was hung up on, but and I didn't really let those go to the side. I found the person, or let the creator lead me back to the person that had all these things in the beginning.
Right. That's real.
So I was settling in other areas.
Right.
With allowing myself to not say, okay, well, she got these, so I'll accept this. Just accepting things
Right.
because of their looks, because of I thought I could make them to be this, that, and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to create that person.
Right.
And that's why those relationships continue to fail over
Right.
and over and over.
Right. Right. That's real. That's real. Black, your last comment?
As far as men leading, we'll touch on that briefly. If you're mature and the guy's not mature, it's time to move on. And that's why a lot of younger women are dating the older guys, because they mature quicker, and the guys of the new generation are maturing very slow.
Yeah, older.
Whether they're watching NBA YoungBoy or whatever, whether they're influenced by the music, I don't know. But finding a leader in a 25 to 30-year-old, you're wasting your time. I just don't think it's going to be a bunch of them out there. It's a few that's mature, that's on theirs, but a 20 to 25-year-old women walking around here trying to get married to those, that it's not going to be much of that happening. And as far as finding a true mate, you have to be today's time. You have to be flexible, because, like we preach, you're not going to find it all in one package. You have to figure out what you can tolerate. That person has to be, and I always preach, they got to be your friend first. And like I say, well, Austin said, you have to be attracted to them.
Mm-hmm.
That eliminates the wandering eyes. If you got somebody that's your cup of tea, that you're attracted to, not what I think is attractive,
Right.
that's attractive to you, that you wake up every morning, you able to look at her and say, I made a great choice. I'm glad this is mine. I wake up before you just so I can watch you wake up.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's something different. And like you said, it has to be more than sex, because you have to deal with this person when they get sick. You have to deal with this person when they get in a financial bind. You have to deal with this person if they lose a job. You got to deal with this person if a family member then pissed them off. And your mood's going to adjust when theirs adjusts.
Mm-hmm.
And if that's not your cup of tea, man, you're going to be mad as hell if you have to make yourself adjust
Right.
to her mood.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Or she have to make herself adjust to his mood. So you guys have to have some type of compatibility. You have to be able to talk to this person. You have to care for this person. And yeah, it's no, like you say, there's no perfect one out there. And you have to, don't throw away something that could be a blessing because he or she don't fit the part of what we think is perfect. Because I've met, you know, like he said, when the creator sent me who I'm with, there was a lot of tweaking. You know what I'm saying? We had compatibility where it mattered. And we took that and a little tweak here, a little tweak there, a little da. But the key thing was the main things that mattered was there.
Mm-hmm.
And the respect and the love was there. So
Right.
when you have respect and the love is there, the little tweaking here and there, well, I don't like this, I don't like that. I mean, you're going to run into that because no one's perfect.
Right.
And if you care about that person and they're your friend first, you have no problem adjusting here and there. You're not going to settle, but a little tweak in there. Okay, you don't like this. Okay, I can switch that. Well, I don't like that, and you need to switch that. And if they care about you, they're going to adjust that. And then before you know it, it's going to get a little straight. And as you go on down that road, it might do this, and you may have to come back in and do a little bit more tweaking because it's not going to be perfect, you know. And so if you with somebody that's willing to do that, like he said, like Austin said, they care about you,
Right.
that supports you, that's there for your emotional needs. You know, it's deeper than the bedroom. But right now, a lot of people are dating for the bedroom. It ain't even with looks now. It's bedroom. And like we see these people with these unattractive women, but they have men that's nice looking that can get anybody they want, but they in love with them. That's mostly sex and money in that bedroom. There's sex in the bedroom and money in the bank, you know, and they're a lot of them are settling, you know. But then again, you can't date for beauty. You can't date for finances. So it's eventually somebody's going to suffer in that relationship. So go after what pleases you as a person, and stop dating for looks. Because somebody said that on the previous one. Stop dating. Men need to stop dating for looks. And women need to stop dating for finances. They need to, you know, he could be stable, but don't look for this man to go in a hole trying to meet your financial goal.
Right.
So yeah, that's my take on it. And if the young lady meet a man that she really likes, sometimes when the woman's mature, you have to mature that guy. You have to let him know this is what we're about to do. And if that guy wants to be with you and he's 25, that guy want to be with you and he's 30 years old, lay out, you come to him with a plan. And if he, you know, because a lot of times guys are sideswipe. Come to that guy, meet that guy with a plan, say, hey, I really want to be with you, but you know what I'm saying? We have to do this. Things have to change, because a lot of them are not being raised by men. A lot of them really don't know 100% how to protect and lead a woman. So if that's somebody you want and you feel like that person is for you, I see no problem with you offering to help mature this guy if you know that's who you want to be with. So that's how I feel about that. So that way, but there's a lot of beta males coming out of this thing, and that's a whole nother different topic that we're going to touch on. But yeah, if he have the drive, the spirit to want to lead and just don't know how, I don't see nothing wrong with that woman coming in with you know, with some advice, bringing some knowledge to the table, and helping that man mature to be the man that she's want. Because no one is born perfect, especially these days. They not raised. It's a different timing. So that's my take on that. Looking for relationships and the men not leading today. And what you got to say about it?
Man, we just want to thank everybody because time ticking on. We just want to thank everybody for coming out, man. I just say, don't wait too late. Don't wait too late. Don't wait later in life. And that's it. Go ahead and land that plane, Black.
All right. They're talking about it. It's happening. So we might as well speak on it. And the same time, same channel next week. I think next week we're going to do a 318 legend from 7:30 Central time to about 8:30 Central. And then we'll be back on the discussion. And I'm probably going to post the discussion Monday and get it circulating on, you know, Instagram, Facebook, and different things like that. So that's the plan. We like you say, we thank everybody for coming out. Shout out to the panel, Phantom J. What do you say? Whatever you say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm gonna say Jay Austin. It was just my opinion.
It's gonna change, but hey, check your phone, and that's a secret right now.
Yeah.
Okay. I sent you something. Check your phone. That's a secret for right now.
Oh, okay. That's what's up.
That's what's up.
All right. So yeah, next week come back. We're gonna be the same panel. I should have some special guests next week as well. So tune in and check it out. I'm thinking we're going to be speaking with Icy Rue of the DHP Posse out of Bastrop, Louisiana, as our artist. So he'll be the first person, the first interview that we do. starting off next Thursday. So we're out. Shout out to OZ. We still talking about him last week. We appreciate everything that he brought to the panel. And shout out to Tastasia. Shout out to Mary Jane James for participating tonight. And we out.
Peace.